problem 1, the topic is about manufacturing cycle efficiency rate. After analyzing and identifying the time spent in completing a production process, the following were observed. Wait time from the time the order is placed to the date the units are delivered and received 6 days. From the start of production to completion 8 days. Inspection time 1.5 days. Process time 4.5 days and move time 2 days. So the question is, what is the manufacturing cycle efficiency rate and the delivery cycle time? So ang hinahanap natin dito ay manufacturing cycle efficiency rate at delivery cycle time. Para makuha ang manufacturing cycle efficiency rate, ang formula doon ay process time divided by throughput time. So ang process time natin is 4.5 days. At ating throughput time, so para makuha ang throughput time is pag-a-addin lang natin yung wait time na 8 days plus 1.5 days plus 4.5 days plus 2 days. So ang magiging answer doon ay 16 days. So ang ating throughput time ay 16 days. I-divide lang natin yan. So, 4.5 divided by 16 days, ang sagot doon ay 0.28125 or 28.125%. So, sa delivery cycle time naman, para makuha yon is may formula tayo na throughput time plus supplier's lead time. So, ang ating throughput time, which is given na 16 days, plus, ang ating supplier's lead time is yung from the time the order is placed to the date the units are delivered and received, which is 6 days. So, i-add lang natin yan. So, 16 plus 6 equals to 22 days. So, ang ating manufacturing cycle efficiency rate ay 28.125% at ang ating delivery cycle time ay 22 days.
Our next problem is about balance scorecard. So, Lexan Company uses the Balance Scorecard approach to evaluate both employee performance and financial efficiency. During the year, the management observed that improving employee training could help speed up inventory processing and collections, which may shorten the company's net cash cycle. The following information was gathered for the year. So we have a total of 80 employees, 60 employees who completed training programs, 20 employees who did not attend. We also have average inventory period of 40 days, average collection period of 25 days, and average payment period of 15 days. So our requirement is what is the employee training completion rate, non-training rate, and net cash cycle. So we were going to compute for the employee training completion rate, non-training rate, and net cash cycle. So first, let's get the employee training completion rate. So the formula for that is net employee training completion rate is equal to employees who completed the training over total employees. So let's substitute. We have 60 employees who completed the training program. So that's 60. And a total of 80 employees. So 60 over 80. Let's solve. 60 divided by 80 is equal to 0.75 or 75%. Next is the non-training rate. The formula for that is employees who did not attend over total employees. So we have 20 employees who did not attend and a total of 80 employees. So that is 20 over or divided by 80. So that's 20 divided by 80. The answer is 0.25 or 25%. So the last one is our net cash cycle. So to get that, we will add inventory period and collection period and subtract payment period. So we have average inventory period of 40 days, collection period of 25 days, and payment period of 15 days. So that is 40 plus 25 minus 15. 40 plus 25 is equal to 65 minus 15 days. So that is 50 days. Our employee training completion rate is 75%. Non-training rate is 25% and the net cash cycle is 50 days. That's all.
So for this problem, we are asked to compare the traditional costing method and activity-based costing or ABC, and then determine which product between Axon and Brab should be continued based on the written required na 40% contribution margin ratio. Dito po, ang gagawin natin, sa unang step, hinati muna natin yung variable overhead na 1.5. Yan, ito pong 1.5 into 2 parts. Yung 40% or yung 600,000 na naging sagot niya ay allocated siya for material-related overhead. Tapos yung 60% naman na natira or itong 900,000 ay for labor-related overhead. Dito sa traditional costing, gumamit tayo ng company-wide rates. Dito for materials, kinuha natin yung 600,000 divided by total direct materials na 2,400,000. Kaya naging 25% siya. Sa labor naman, yung 900,000, i-divide din natin siya sa 800 na direct labor cost, kaya naging 112.5%. Tapos, after getting the rates, in-apply natin ito per unit. For Axon, the direct material cost is 16 and direct labor is 8. Tapos, ipag-add lang natin siya para makuha natin yung prime cost na 24. Tapos, dinagdagan natin to ng overhead na 4 for materials at 9 for labor. Kaya ito total din natin siya, kaya naging 37. Ganun din kay Brab. Direct materials niya ay 30, 10 yung direct labor, ang magiging prime cost is 40. Tapos yung 7.5 for materials and 11.25 for labor. Tapos ito total din, kaya meron tayong total variable cost na 58.75. Next naman, gumamit tayo ng activity-based costing or ABC. Dito, hindi na tayo gumamit ng percentage. Instead, overhead was assigned based on actual activity drivers. For materials, weight per unit po yung ginamit namin. While for labor-related overhead, number of operations per unit naman yung basis. Kinumpute muna natin yung total weight at total number of operation. Then, hinatin natin yung overhead cost. Lumabas na meron pong 6.67 kg per materials at 7.50 per operation for labor. Dito po, when applying ABC, napansin natin na si Axon ay gumagamit ng mas maraming resources na 4 kilograms per unit at 6 sa operation. Kaya, mas mataas po yung overhead assigned sa kanya. As a result, the total cost per unit became 68, which is higher than its selling price na 75. Ibig sabihin, hindi na profitable si Axon under ABC. On the other hand, si Brab naman ay mas mababa ang resource consumption, kaya mas mababa rin ang overhead allocation. The total cost per unit is only 54.17, which is still lower than its selling price na 95. Meaning, kumikita pa rin si Brab. Dito naman, for the analysis, tinignan natin ang contribution margin ratio. Under traditional costing, Axon has 51% contribution margin ratio, which means it is generating sufficient profit and meets the required na 40%. Brab has only 38%, meaning it falls below the target contribution margin ratio. However, under ABC, Axon's result in negative 28% contribution margin ratio, showing that the product is already operating at a loss. Brab has a 43% contribution margin ratio, meaning it remains profitable and exceeds the required benchmark. Dito natin makikita na magkaiba yung magiging management decision depending on the costing method used. If traditional costing yung pagbabasa natin dito, Axon would appear more profitable, but under ABC, which provides a more accurate allocation of overhead costs, Brab is actually the better performing product. Yun lang po.